Alright, we are back. Welcome everybody to a brand new video. It's been a while. It's been about a month. I've been MIA, been on the hiatus from making videos. I've been spending a lot of time with family and with myself, with my girlfriend. Just kind of taking a break from YouTube because October was crazy. I was pretty much on it almost every day, at least up until Spider-Man had arrived. I was on the videos and streaming like every day. Yeah, I've been wanting to make videos again. I just haven't really got to it, but there's a lot to talk about. But in today's topic of videos, we are going to be talking about Marvel. Wait, one more thing. I just noticed that I'm wearing green on green. I gotta change that. There we go. That's better. Okay. A lot has happened over the past few weeks regarding the MCU and other non-MCU projects, but let's get right into the nitty-gritty of the huge one, okay? Mr. Jonathan Majors, as you may know him as Kang the Conqueror. And while I'm very sad to tell you all, it looks like he's not going to be conquering anything soon. I mean... I'm sorry, that's a bad joke. From this article from Deadline here, it says that Jonathan Majors is facing misdemeanor charges stemming from an incident in and around the actor's Chelsea apartment on March 25th. It says, although Majors was the one who called 911 at the time, the NYPD officers did find lacerations and finger marks on who is now his ex-girlfriend, Grace Jabari. They arrested Jonathan Majors on the spot, but he was released within hours after a hearing in front of a judge and has pleaded not guilty. So basically, if you aren't caught up with the loop, Jonathan Majors a couple months ago got into it with his girlfriend, I believe, or someone of interest, someone that's very close to him. Got into it with him basically, and there was a fight of some sort. Now, evidence to back up that he is innocent, but nothing really comes close to trying to prove his innocence. So there's a lot to be said, there's a lot to be looked into, there's a lot of different he didn't, she did. It's going a lot of back and forth right now. The case is still going, the trial is still going through, but we really don't know his fate because it says here in the article as well from Deadline that it could lead up to 1 year behind bars. Whether that's jail or that's prison, I don't know. It is whatever the judge decides, which is scary. So like my thoughts on this basically is very sad because it sucks. There are two sides right here. There is a one side where people want to see it through with Kang the Conqueror story, right? They want to see it go through. I think Jonathan Majors is a great actor. I personally think he's a great actor. I think he's perfect for the role. There's also the other side where people are saying, well, I don't really care about Kang because all his variants have not meant anything to me or to them, whatever. There's not a specific variant that's like the big main bad. Yeah, sure, you could talk about the variant that was in Quantumania from Ant-Man 3, but then again, it's not really like, that guy died too, you know. Then the one in Loki, you got like a whole bunch of them in there. The one about, or what was it, the He Who Remains, you also have that variant in Loki. So there's a whole bunch of variants going around. So basically I can see both the sides here. The cover up for this would be for Marvel to go through and find a different actor to play Kang and just play it off as a, oh yeah, it's just another variant because if it's a face change, right? But then that would be weird because all his variants, all the hundreds of variants that we have seen are Jonathan Majors' face, so it's like, what the heck, like, okay, whatever. But then there's also the side of where people are saying, let's just go through with Doctor Doom here, you know, why not? We can do Doctor Doom, fans want him, all that stuff. Whether or not Marvel decides to recast or go through with a different villain, it's really hard for them right now because you've set up so much for Kang. How are they going to write around it? It's basically trying to write the story with their hands tied up behind their backs. I don't see how they could do it. Personally, I hope, if proven, you know, innocent for Jonathan Majors' sake, I would love to see him go through and make it out on top and go through with this whole storyline. But Marvel needs to, they can't wait for him any longer. They have to go through it. They have to move with something. It saddens me because, well, why would you want to throw away your whole acting career, job career for that matter. He literally signed up to be the face of the next Marvel, generation. And now it's now that's just gone down the drain. And for what, So that's the Jonathan Majors case. Really sad, but we'll see how it plays out. Okay, so next thing I want to talk about is the Madam Web trailer. Yes, Dakota Johnson. Let's see if we can pull up an article here. So we have this article from The Verge. I'm going to try to go through this one really fast here. So, Sony, what are you doing? Oh my god. I cannot with them anymore. So, Madam Web. Yeah, Sony's doing it. They're really going through with this movie. You've already heard it looks like a CW show. It looks stupid. It looks all this. It looks all that. Yeah, I know. You have Sony with their spin-off movies. Venom is whatever. Morbius sucks. And them trying to connect all these movies together, it's not gonna do good. Everyone's already shitting on Madam Web. So, I mean, that's already given because the quality that Sony puts into these movies are just like super lackluster, and they're cash grabs. You can think about them however you want, but they are literally cash grabs. They're also a way for Sony to basically hold on to the rights of Spider-Man, the character, and everybody that is related to Spider-Man. So, I mean, I don't even have to read the entire article here, but just kind of skimming through it, so first of all, we're gonna have a young Uncle Ben. The whole storyline is about a guy named Ezekiel Sims, and he has to go after 3 other Spider-Women, including Madam Web, to prevent them from getting their powers, and then also go after Peter Parker so that he doesn't become Spider-Man, but like as a baby. So I don't know what this guy's deal is. What is this writing? Seriously, like, what is this writing? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, a 5th grader wrote this. I mean, to more kind of conclude my thoughts on Madam Web is like, I'm probably gonna go see it just to make fun of it, get my thoughts. But the only thing that could probably get anyone to go and watch this movie is if you throw in Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield or Tom Holland at the very end, at least, because the Spider-Man that they do have in this movie, he's a joke. Yeah, the costume looks terrible. The lenses look terrible. It says here in the article that I'm reading, seemingly set in a chunk of Sony's spider-centric multiverse where neither Peter Parker nor Morales are a big deal. Madam Web chronicles the origin story of Cassandra Webb, Dakota Johnson, a paramedic whose chance encounter with death while saving someone on the job leaves her with the ability to predict the future. At first in the trailer, Cassandra can't make heads or tails of what it means when she vividly envisions how scenarios around her might play out. So Madam Web can see the future. I already know why Sony's doing this. It's so that they have their own quote-unquote Doctor Strange, so that they can do multiverse stuff, because to my knowledge there's really no one else in the Spider-Verse that can weave together other Spider people and multiverse and all that stuff. So that's why they're doing it. It's gonna be very interesting though. So like I said, the only thing that can get people to go watch this movie is either you throw in Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield or Tom Holland, which I really don't want them to, because it's a cash grab. You're just throwing them in there for what? For fame, glory, for their own benefit? Like, no. I hope that they wouldn't want to do it. And also, Venom 3 is filming right now, and it's Tom Hardy's last film as Venom. So I don't know if they're ever going to do Tom's Spider-Man versus Tom Hardy's Venom. That was teased at the end of Venom 2. He never showed up in No Way Home. I don't think Sony knows what they're doing. Like, they never know what they're doing. Smoking that Sony pack and just tossing out movies and throwing them, making them look stupid. And I guarantee you, if Madam Web was made by the MCU, made by Marvel Studios, like, it would be so much better. But yeah, the rumor is right now that Sony is trying to merge all their movies together with Spider-Man 4. And everybody wants a street level story with Spider-Man, not multiverse stuff. But people are forgetting, this is the multiverse saga for the MCU, so pretty much every movie is gonna deal with the multiverse somehow, some way. Whether it's hinting at variants or pulling in other characters, it's multiverse now. Everything is multiverse. That can be a topic for another video. That's a lot to go into. I have a lot of thoughts about the multiverse stuff right now, but yeah, that's Madam Web. It looks generic, it looks lackluster, super low budget. I mean, They probably didn't put in a ton of money anyways because they knew like it's not gonna do well, so it's not spend too much on the film. But other than that, yeah, I mean, it's just gonna be another lackluster throwaway Sony movie. Oh, that's right, Fantastic Four. So if you guys aren't familiar, caught up, it is supposed to be, let me see if I could pull it up. So potential Fantastic Four cast, not my first choice, but everybody is saying that it could be Pedro Pascal. My only complaints with this is that Pedro Pascal has been in almost everything in Hollywood. To give him Reed Richards, I think one of the reasons why Marvel is eyeing Pedro Pascal is that he has a huge fan base, and they know that if they cast him, they're gonna get all his fan base. And then I could also see it from Pedro's standpoint, where if he does want to do it, one of the reasons why it could be that he wants to do it is because, well, he actually gets to act and not have a helmet on because he is the Mandalorian. And I know for even that show, he's not even in the suit half the time. It's mainly just his voice. He doesn't show his face. So if he gets to do Reed Richards, I mean, he's literally joining one of the biggest universes, if not the biggest movie universe in all of cinema history. So even he gets to add that to his plate. So he'll have the Mandalorian, he'll also have Reed Richards, and well, I don't know how soon he's gonna be gone as Joel from Last of Us, but if they're doing season 2 and with Abby, we all know what happens with Joel, but no spoilers here. If you know, you know. I don't really see him personally in that role. I can't really see it. I know he'll do a good job, but he wasn't my first choice. I think the safer and better choice would be to go with John Krasinski from Multiverse of Madness. I think he was perfect. He was a fan cast, and Marvel actually went through with that, so that's super cool. But I think the rumor, or it was said that they didn't contact him, so they just never went through with it. And he lost interest because John wants to be basically directing and writing movies, and that's his passion. Doesn't want to be tied down to trilogies and, you know, a bunch of Marvel movies back to back, so I can understand that. Pedro just was not my first choice, but who knows, maybe he can pull it off. Maybe he can do it. For Sue Storm though, gonna be Vanessa Kirby. I haven't really seen a bunch of her movies, but I know she's from Hobbs and Shaw, so I mean, she looks like the part. She's got the blonde hair, she's got the blue eyes. And then for Johnny Storm, not my first choice either, but Joseph Quinn from Stranger Things. If you know Eddie, yeah, Johnny Storm. Not my first choice. I mean, he does a good American accent because in Stranger Things, that's not his real voice. It's not his real accent. I think he's Australian. I actually do like this choice for The Thing. Ebony Moss, I believe that's his name, from The Bear, which is on Hulu. Highly recommend that show if you guys need something to watch. Yeah, I can really see him as The Thing, as Ben Grimes. Like, that's super cool. He looks like he's got the voice. He's got the acting ability to sort of take on that huge of a role, which would be cool because I do like him as an actor. I do like Vanessa Kirby. I think she looks the role. I think everybody else is good except just not Pedro. I just can't see him as Reed Richards. It's really hard to see him as Reed Richards, but I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. Pedro is great, so if given a good script and the vision that they have for this movie, I think it could be a solid cast. I mean, this could be our cast right here, so we'll see. I think they're still trying to find someone to play Galactus. There's a few names going around, but I mean, the 4 main core is literally the Fantastic Four. So Pedro, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, and Ebony Moss. I mean, the rumor was it was supposed to be Adam Driver as Reed Richards and Margot Robbie as Sue Storm, which I'm like, oh my god, like that was never going to work. And I think it didn't go through because they wanted more pay. Yeah, I just didn't really see that either, because you're really going to add Margot Robbie. She's from DC, she plays Harley Quinn. Now she's gonna go over to the Marvel side, which I'm sure they don't have a problem with playing either parts in different universes, but it's like sometimes there's actors that are just like meant for one role. I mean, let's just say Robert Downey Jr. were to play, I don't know, Bruce Wayne in the new DC universe. Like, you wouldn't be able to see that. Like, that wouldn't work, right? Because he's Iron Man, he's Tony Stark, he's not Bruce Wayne. So I mean, if you can understand my point right there, it's just not really what I had in store for myself for this cast. There was a lot other names that were going around, which I liked a lot more. I gotta trust Marvel, I gotta trust the casting directors. And yeah, I mean, that was pretty much all the big Marvel news right there. I'll see you guys in the next one. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you guys want me to cover more Marvel news like this in the future, let me know down below. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.